Peace and love. It's a giant divine. All right, so healing. There was I don't know, like a tweet or something, and it said being stuck in an endless loop of healing is a program of the Matrix too. It is. I talked about morality last time as being a programming. Healing, this constant, like you're stuck in the cycle, the revolution going around in circles, this constant idea of like, oh, I'm healing, I'm still healing. It also reminds me of like the victim mode, keeping people in that victim mode. I'm healing when we could also activate. So, what if we activate instead of heal? Because that could be a program and we could choose to run. But understand that any programming can be used. There's going to be a poll. So, if you start talking about, I'm activated and I don't need to heal and I'm over it and da da da, and you're not actually being aware of what's going on, you could actually just be running from stuff. So you have to understand the freedom and the traps in everything, because that's what everything has poles. Every action has a reaction. Every cause and effect. Every effect is a cause. So if you're not understanding that and trying to and playing in those energies, man, sit down and figure it out. Like ask yourself these questions. Okay, so this happened with this person. I'm super pissed off about how they went about this. Blah 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 blah. What is the opposite pole? What is the polarity in the situation? What can I take from the situation? What was the good in it? And then when things are really good, understand that there is an opposite pole of some things that could be negative if you're not aware of them to keep them in balance. So it's not about avoidance and saying like something doesn't exist. It's about being aware and keeping things in balance, because that's how consciousness really is. It's actually being fully aware and present in the now. So by putting people in this constant state of healing, they are defining themselves from the perspective of their wound, of the trauma. When at our core, we are infinite divine beings. So why not define ourselves from that perspective instead of as someone who is healing? Because how long does healing take? Because at first, when there's something that's, when you have a trauma, you pick at it, you clean it out. If you got gravel stuck in you, you pick at it and you clean it out, right? Then you treat it and it heals. But if you continue picking at it, so some of all of this healing is picking the wound. It's keeping people in victim mode. So you have to define what it is that you really, what your goals are, and understand how to play in these spiritual laws, because they're going to get played against you. So if you're like, oh yeah, it feels good to heal and talk about my stuff that I haven't faced and bring and peel it up and bring it out and blah, and you get stuck in that energy and you get stuck trauma bonding with people out of that energy, out of that victim mentality and that victim mode and the trauma behind it, rather than the power of activating from it. If you get caught in that, now you're the thing that was supposed to help you float now becomes your anchor. And so that's what um, the mainstream programmers are really good at doing, is taking things, because so many people are on social media doing so many things that they're getting all the information they need. They're getting hashtags. They're getting they're getting everything. We're putting it in categories for them. You know what I mean? Like mashing it up, TikToking it up, doing all kind of crazy shit for them so they can get biggest sample in the shortest amount of time. They are getting huge samples of information, of data. And because a lot of people do not understand just how much of a computer system, a matrix this really is, people aren't understanding how valuable the data is and how much it can be used to control what is going on within the system. So if I know that you're going to be using healing as a way of ascending and out of the system, out of your slumber, out of your sleep, and I can figure out how to reprogram healing to become an anchor to your victimhood, to your trauma, now I keep you exactly where I want you. And I can even make you more comfortable in it because you feel like you're healing because that's the language and it's cyclical and it goes on forever and you're never truly healed. What the fuck? What the fuck? That ain't healing then. You're never truly fully healed, huh? Are you never your original self? No, because every trauma is really an activation. It's something on your path that's meant to activate you into something. And you may go through a victim feeling stage, but you cannot get stuck in the healing of it because it means you're stuck in your trauma. And people are trauma bonding. And it feels good. And people are excited about it because bonding is something that a lot of people are missing. Community is something that a lot of people are missing. But how healthy is it? And then how much is it actually going to help you grow? And what are your goals too? So, what the fuck do I know? But what are your goals? Are you really talking ascension and new lives and new reality and new timelines? Because you're going to have to stay on your toes out here and understand that anything that is any programming that you're seeing mainstream, anything, just know that it has been programmed to be something negative. And if you can't take a step back and look at both sides, you're going to get caught in it. You're going to get caught in the cyclical programming of healing, the cyclical programming of victimhood, the cyclical programming of the revolution. It's all a program just to keep you attached, to feed off of your energy. So you have to be able to adapt. You have to be in the spiritual energies, playing with the spiritual laws and understanding what's going on and how they're going to try to use it against you, against the masses. And it's not really against. They're just trying to keep their computer system running. They want their matrix program to continue to run. That's it. Remember, there is no good or bad, no right or wrong. They want their programming to keep running. So they're doing what it takes to keep it running. Don't get caught up in it and start running your own programming. Start looking at your life through programming. What are you programming yourself to do? How are you programming yourself to think? Your self-talk. Is your self-talk like, God damn, I gotta do this again? Or, life is good, life is great. I got the opportunity to do this. Your self-talk is important. That's a programming. It's literally up to you. It's a decision we make constantly every day. And when you know the spiritual laws and how they work, and you actually begin to live in them, play in them, like play. This is play. This is a game. We came here to grow. It's an experience. So start playing in the natural laws. Start understanding how the The enemy, the programmers, the other people who are trying to keep their matrix afloat. That's it. That's all. Understand how they are playing in the spiritual laws. See how they're moving in the media and start picking out what they're playing with and how they're playing. And then start applying it to your own life. Now is the time. There's absolutely nothing holding us back. And because everything is moving so fast, use that in our advantage, because if it's something going down this fast, then something else is going up just as fast. Because why? It's law. Which one you getting on? So something's contracting and something's expanding. Which one are you trying to be on? Which wave you gonna be on? The one going out or the one coming back? This is the science. This is the spirituality. This is the magic. So don't get stuck in their programmings. The programmings of history, of being stuck in the past and having to know everything about the past when the past is with you right now. Your ancestors, they literally are running through your veins. If you unplugged and actually took time to meditate, you could talk to them. You don't have to read a fucking book. Your history is in your blood. But the programming of us saying, oh, you couldn't read, now you gotta read, and reading is fundamental, and reading is our way out, and people are getting stuck in history and stuck in reading and stuck in these things instead of using them to expand themselves and expand their perspective. It's become almost a hoarder thing. It can start to become from a place of lack. I need more history, I need more this, I need more that, when it's all inside of you. They're tricking you into looking still for external things when everything you need is inside of you. And there are so many channels right now to the divine, to source right now in this plane, that we should be connecting with each other. We get like stuff so fast, messages so fast, instead of having to go through history to read something from someone in the past to get activations. Those are old activations. Not saying they still can't be powerful, but understand that there's fresh stuff around, all around. So many dope spirits, souls, channels just out here letting it just flow through them. So much. So it's great. I mean, I've read a lot. I know some history. Yeah, I know that. But don't forget that the present and the now is where all the power is. And if you're not reading to expand your perspective and to grow your soul, and it's just for ego reasons, beware of that. Just beware of that. Understand the poles of everything. So when you're jumping into something that seems really, really good, understand the other side of it so that you don't fall victim to it. That's it. And have fun with it. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be playing with the energies down here having fun. That's another programming work. It has to be hard. No, that's a program. We choose to run these programs, man. You get a choice of what programs you're going to run. But understand that the other programmers are coming and they want to use anything positive. They want to play the other side of it. So you have to be adaptable. You have to be ready to just go with you, the true you. Go with you. And you'll know and you'll feel it and it won't feel right. Completely trust your intuition. Be ready to change. Change. You can change wording, you can change how you express, but the root of you, the soul of you, the energy behind it, it's the same. And it will be felt. Peace and love.